This is Between Hook Sets. I'm Chasen Walter from In Through the Outdoors with my partner in slime, Curt Underhill from the Fishing Crew. How you doing?
This is my butt towel.
Huh? Is that what?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. I'm just trying to decide whether I want to buy a Powerball ticket or not. Did you buy Powerball tickets?
I did.
So you've got the $99 billion tickets right here?
I spent $487.
You did?
Or $20.
Yeah, I was going to say $20. Let me see what you got here.
We're going to win.
These are not Simpson numbers, but I hope we win it. You just said we, so
we are going to win.
It's right here for posterity's sake. You said you're going to share it with me, so
let me ask this: if you won the Powerball, what would you do?
Oh, holy crap! Honestly, I've never, because I don't care to have all that money. You know, I would probably give a lot of it away. So, in all seriousness,
I've always said if I ever win one, which I don't buy very often,
yeah.
But if I win one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a lawyer, get all the financial planners, get all that stuff lined up.
You got to do that.
And then I'm not going to, because in South Dakota, you have to put your name out there.
Yep.
So I'm not going to claim it right away, get everything in place.
And move?
No, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to claim it immediately after getting on a flight to New York City. I'm going to walk up to the first bum I see and throw my cell phone at him. And say, that's yours for the next year?
No.
I'm paying for it?
Yeah.
And go spend a couple months on an island somewhere.
Yeah, there you go.
And then randomly check in on the dude to see how many people ask me for shit.
Right. That's funny because everybody that you know.
And people you don't.
Oh, yeah. Third cousins twice removed on your mother's side, plus your brother's side and your other brother's side. And everybody's like, well, I deserve some money.
And I'll stay down here because I've always said it. I will throw the first $1 million to win walleye tournament.
Ooh.
Guaranteed $1 million for first.
Now, that'd be a ton of fun.
Probably have to pay somebody else to do it.
Well, of course. Why would you sit there and do it? And, I mean, even I wouldn't do it because you'd be paying me to watch. That's just the way that's going to go. No, honestly, can you imagine the headache that money would bring?
That'd be insane. But
I would rather just be little old me, with making this 19,000. Yeah.
100.
Right. Yeah. Making $19,000 a year. Forget about it. Yeah. No, I honestly, I really have no desire. I've always said if I could get $50 off a scratch off or a Powerball or whatever, I'd be happy. I'd be good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be fun to have money and buy all the cool stuff that people buy, but
I don't know.
Really?
A lot of headaches. I was listening to the news today and they said there's a dollar amount that makes there's amount of money that makes you happy, and then there's an amount of money that is too much.
Yeah. Yeah. With a ton of money comes a ton of responsibility. And I don't even think I would have that much fun.
Yeah.
With that kind of money. And no, I'm glad you asked the question, but I don't think I could do it. So here we are tonight, we're kind of by ourselves again, which is okay. The thing is, it's hard to bring people together. I talked to Dan Spengler, actually talked to him. He's like, I just can't do it, but I want to do it sometime. So Dan's going to come on the show sometime. Yeah. He sent me a ton of, I shouldn't say a ton. I got 7 shallow money badgers, the new shallow money badger. And I'm excited to start using those. Not now. It is not time yet, unless today was cool.
Yeah.
There was a hint of fall in the air, and I think Minnesota's supposed to get up there in up there in the what do they call it? The Arrowhead.
The Iron Range
of Minnesota. Yep, Iron Range.
Yeah.
A lot of people are calling it the Arrowhead, but I think it's meteorologists who have come up with their own term.
Gotcha.
Because I don't think I'd ever heard that before, but maybe that's something new. I better use the new term. But we get a little bit of snow in Minnesota tonight, and oh boy. Dusty, how's it going? Yeah, we're in the same place now
for a couple more weeks.
If he wins $1 million, he's buying us each our own studio. I can tell you that, or billions, studio. Or whatever. But yeah, so I'm in Pierre for a couple more weeks, and then I'll be in Mobridge. So I don't know if I'm going to be doing it from my place out in the country. I rented an apartment 4 miles east of Mobridge. So I don't know if I'll do it there, if I'm going to do it from the radio station. I haven't quite figured it out.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
So yeah, I'm not sure. And I don't know. Does it really matter?
Broadcasting both live on the streaming and KLLY?
Yeah, well, honestly, I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, but I know my walleye program is going to happen eventually. I think I'll put that together in January or whatever. But then that'll be live on the radio, and then it'll be live on YouTube and maybe Facebook or whatever. But yeah, so here we are. Jaden Wendell, his grandpa has been put in the hospital, so our thoughts and prayers are with the Wendells, because asked Jaden to be on a couple of times and things just didn't work out, and I got a text from him last night that said, I just can't do it. Grandpa's in the hospital, and I got to go see him. So I believe they were going to Fargo, whatever it is. Obviously that's personal stuff, so we'll leave it. And then you talked to
Danny Thompson from
Garmin. And honestly, at this point, having a conversation with Garmin is right in the wheelhouse.
Big news out of the bass world yesterday that they're going to allow the guys to fish the Classic with the forward-facing sonar and a coin flip.
Yeah,
on five of them, 5 events, to have live forward-facing sonar or not. And I am definitely, I just let them run it. Just let them run it. Why do we care? I mean, I think that's, I was reading last night, when I first saw it, there was like 30 comments, and I looked later that night and there were like 700 comments. So there's people that are both ways on this deal, but my perception is it's here. It hasn't gone away. We talked about this with some other guy. He's like, if they want to do something about it, they need to do it like when drones first came out. When drones first came out, they automatically banned them from hunting.
Yeah, right.
And before anybody, they got cheap enough for people to buy them. It was all the things way ahead of time. Now we're here 6-7 years later, and now we're talking about the problem. Too many people have them.
Yeah, and a lot of people have them. Especially tournament. Every tournament angler has them. If maybe 1% doesn't, and I don't know why they wouldn't. I really don't quite understand that. I have to. Let's get to Jim here. Yeah. So I'm fishing trees. I'm live scoping more than I ever have, and it's been fantastic. It's a lot of work. It's not easy. Matter of fact, it's a bitch.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you, because it's like,
kind of like Uncle Lou's comment here.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, right. Sending a fireman to a fire with no water. Yeah, right. Yeah. It is. You're absolutely right. It's a tool. It's a tool. So I last weekend I fished, let's say 5 hours, 2.5 hours on Saturday, 2.5 hours on Sunday. And I'm out practicing. I have no goal in mind. I don't care about my 4 fish. I don't care. I'm after one big one. That's my deal. I want to find the one big one. So I ended up with a 26. I'm a 19 on Facebook. Every time I catch a big fish, I'm just going to say it's a 19-incher.
He got positive feedback on a post. Yeah, that 19-incher.
That was just every fish is going to be a 19. Every fish is a 19-incher. So 29.5 a week ago. And then this last weekend at 26. So, when I go out this weekend, I don't know what's going to happen, but the more I go out, the more I learn. But I'm going to tell you right now, I could not win a tournament doing it. That 26, it was probably 7 pounds. I didn't have my bubba, and I got to make sure I have my bubba next time, just because some of these fish are so fat.
Yeah.
But typically they should be a 6-pound walleye, and I'm certain it was probably 7, because it was pretty thick and fat. But here again, it comes down to, I've caught a few teeners. I caught a 29.5 and I caught a 26 in 2 weekends. Well, that's just not enough to win a tournament.
No.
Yeah, for anybody, and I know you've got your guys that are sorry, I told you I had a froggy one.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, right. Would have lost $200 in chicken wraps last weekend if it didn't have live. So and here's the thing: you can lose $200 worth of.
And his girlfriend wouldn't have caught her first 30-incher either.
See, and I saw that picture too. Colin, I did. It was fantastic. And here's my thing. I still can't catch a 30-incher, but maybe it's coming this weekend. If it isn't coming this weekend, it's coming sometime.
Yeah,
in September or October. But here again, I'm just done arguing about forward-facing sonar just for the fact that it's just it's a dead-end argument. It is a cool tool. It's a learning tool. And I'm having so damn much fun with it that I really don't care if the Bassmasters don't want to use it on 4 of their tournaments out of the 9 regular season tournaments they're going to do. Okay, fine. Guess what? I'm just not going to watch anyway.
Well, and I don't know. I started watching bass a lot more. I watched them when they were in South Dakota. Started watching them a lot more that we did our fantasy deal, and started paying attention every week. And all
that got hard though.
Well, we're not going.
No, I'm just going to say forward-facing sonar up the fantasy fishing thing. That got hard because I honestly, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I was actually pretty doggone good at it, and this year. I don't know what the heck happened. I couldn't. Corey DeVille did better than I did. He's never done it before.
Yeah, I talked him into it last minute, and he was right there. I think he got a couple second places. Never did pull off the victory in our league, but
no. But
regardless of that, what I'm getting at is these guys all complain that I've watched and read comments, and it's so boring. It's so boring to watch them. So I went back and watched some old ones. You're staring at their back, and they're casting like this. The only difference now is you're staring at their back and their head's down. How does that change? Change it. I don't understand that argument.
It's not different.
It's not. You're still watching the back of the guy cast.
It's a whiny excuse. Yeah. Cry, whatever.
But we'll get Danny on in a few weeks and really dive into the live scope and all the stuff behind it. I've been fortunate enough to spend some time on the ice with Danny and learn quite a bit about where it came from, why it was developed, and all the different things behind Garmin's live scope. And it's a great tool. I mean, it's 100% a great tool, and you still have to catch the fish. You do. We stare at hundreds of them before we make one bite, Yeah. Just you need to put more time in it. And
it's what honestly, it comes down to.
I was talking to somebody the other night, and they're like, it's getting kids more interested in fishing. Because I was talking to my coworker this week, and he said, yeah, me and my brother took our sons out, and he goes, my nephew's 10 years old and can read it better than I can. He actually caught one more fish than him, but he's like, he's telling you what the fish are doing, and the kids are engaged.
Right.
Rather than sitting there watching bottom bouncer rods drag and hope they catch a fish. Kids like technology. Let's face it. I mean, you can't figure something on your phone. You hand it to a 7-year-old and they figure it out. Right. But they like that. They go to school. They have laptops starting in first grade in most places. I mean, they're kindergarten, they're versed in technology. I mean, our daughter came home in like 4th or 5th grade and was told me they were doing coding.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, what?
Right.
Freaking elementary school. And she's like, yeah.
Amazing.
And so they're versed in it. And so if we want to bring the younger generation in, why are we taking out a technology that is bringing more kids into fishing than's ever brought them in before? And keeping them engaged.
I agree. I guess Jim Stevenson from Minnesota Tournament Trail, he was watching early. I don't know if he's on right now or not, but yeah, that's true. You lose more than you gain. But Jim, how many younger people do you have on the tournament trail? Right, Hunter Nitty and his buddies. They don't have a ton of age on them. They can't be 30 maybe.
Yeah.
28, 32, whatever. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, you've got these younger anglers, and as a guy that's 59, I don't want to be 59, but I don't get a choice but to watch. You've got your Bows and your Sams. So you got boy and girl, right? Out doing it. It doesn't matter, whether you're a man or a woman. I mean, it just doesn't matter. They're out there. You've got Jaden Wendell that's out there. You've got Riley Full, Braden Full, Brock Notham. You've got all these young guys that are are in their
look at Trey
teens
McKinney.
to 30s. Yeah, Trey McKinney, what, 20, 21? We had him on the show
20
early in his career. I think he was 18 a couple of years ago. Okay, here we go. Youngest qualifier was 10 this year. No kidding.
Yeah.
See, that's fun. Honestly, if I'm going to sit and watch something, I would rather watch a 10-year-old catch a big fish or an 18-year-old or I'll sit and watch Mark Kortz catch a fish or Tom Wynn or whoever. That's all well and good and fine, but when you have this diverse age group, instead of a bunch of 40 to 50-year-olds,
I mean,
right?
Gov 18 years old winning the Gov Cup.
Yeah.
Now that
It's amazing.
Bo Schilling's an anomaly because he grew up on the water, took his first guide trip at 10 years old. Grandpa had to back him in the water. Whatever.
Fine.
Anomaly of a human being, but he spends hours behind that screen.
Yeah.
And am I saying Bo Schilling couldn't have won it without live scope? Not saying that, but I'm going to tell you, Bo Schilling got it done because of live scope.
Sure, he did. Sure, a lot of people are getting it done because of live scope, but so many things are changing. The tackle industry is changing. The tackle industry, honestly, I think the tackle industry is going to start going broke if something different didn't happen. And so, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, you look at forward-facing sonar. I went and bought another dozen Johnny Darters today because they're $5 instead of $10. And for some odd reason, last Saturday and Sunday, when I put on a Johnny Darter, and I don't care if it was blue and silver or black and silver, and it was game on. Now, a lot of them were catfish, but I still caught walleye on them too. So, whatever. I'm spending more on tackle. I'm looking at fishing rods and it's got to be good.
Anybody who said that live scope has wrecked the fishing or tackle manufacturing industry. If they have, the tackle manufacturers aren't adapting to the new stuff.
Yeah.
I said we had Justin Sieverding on a few weeks ago, Dinger, talking about all the stuff with Walleye X that they're doing. I happened to stop over there last week, talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he showed me all these the prototypes and you show me how the heads are concaved and every angle has something for the sonar to return on. Is it hogwash? I don't know.
No. It's a matter of fact. You said that I'm going to go see him this week,
but it's 100%. I'm buying that,
right? Well, and if you watch the video that they just put out, Walleye X put a new video out with and I don't know if Justin's watching or not. It's the saber, not the saber blade, but saber bill, I think they call it.
Yeah.
And so what it's doing is it's creating these multiple vortices of air bubbles. And that turbulence behind it, and you could see it all the way along the screen, and it was truly amazing. And maybe that's something that gets a walleye to react, even more. So the more they go with it, the better off they are. Look at Northland Fishing Tackle; they went with their tungsten. They got Tom involved in that. Now they've got the tungsten Smeltinator coming out.
Yeah,
you've got all these guys, and frankly, I look at Johnson and I look at the Johnny Darter. The small Johnny Darter, the number 7 is an ounce. The number 9 is an ounce and 3/8. And I started using those Johnny Darters. I bought a bunch of them on clearance. They were like $3 4 or 5 years ago. And I thought, well, why would I give them a shot and just see what happens? So they're so heavy. You're at 60 foot before you know it with an inch and 3/8, or an ounce and 3/8. I mean, that thing is heavy, right? And you've got the number 10 finisher coming out. That's all because
I was in Arizona over the weekend with the Shields.
They didn't have them, and you didn't
have any.
No, they're not gonna. I don't think they come out till.
We were down there. Daughter went shopping at another store. I saw Shields. I had to go. I was talking to my boss today, and I made a comment. I said, "Shields is the greatest place on earth. Like it's Disneyland for adults." But it's so crazy how where you go, every store is so different. Mm-hmm. I mean, granted, Southern, Arizona, Phoenix, bass fishing,
way different. Yeah,
like they had a whole aisle of frogs. Like
really,
frogs, and I'm like,
no.
And their finisher section was like this big.
Right, yeah, but that's the finisher thing in the bass world really hasn't caught on.
Yeah,
but now the frogs, I actually have power bait frogs that I'm going to drop 50 feet because I'm going to try it. Oh boy. Oh, Wolves on the Water tournament this year. Okay, so live scoping, big ones, fan casting the slots in 5 feet of water on the rocks, spot lock. Not using live scope was just as fun, if not more, catching the 19s in shallow fan casting as chasing the big ones with the live scope. So yeah,
and that's the thing. If you don't like it, you can still go. You still can go catch fish. If you're a tournament angler and you want to put the advantage, put every advantage in your hat. It's no different than a professional football player, baseball player. They're at training camps. They're doing all this stuff. They're eating right. They're taking hitting practice. They're doing all the things they need to do to level themselves up. Why wouldn't you take that advantage? Right? Why wouldn't you add that advantage to your boat? Now, if you're out there to fun fish, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. You can still catch them bottom bouncing. You can still catch them pulling plugs. You can still, frankly, I haven't heard anybody talk about Lindy rigging in 25 years.
I'll bet it'll catch tons in the spring and in the fall.
We used to Lindy rig all the time, long line creek chubs and 10-foot leaders.
People just forget about it.
We just kind of give up these things. We went to Devil's Lake this year, never had a live scope on the boat. And we slip bobbered walleyes in 5 foot of water. Yeah. Had an absolute blast. I don't care how old I get. A bobber going down in front of me is always going to be exciting. Cool. Yeah. It takes you back to the first panfish you caught, right?
You can fish any way you want to fish.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. I'm not going to give up on my rock hopping. I'm going to find some rocks in the Mobridge area, and I'm going for monster marble eye, those big fall eye.
What happens to people going out and just fishing? Yeah, absolutely. Just go out and go fishing.
Really.
You don't have to have live scope.
No,
it's not something you have to have.
And honestly, here's the other thing. So I can't go out and fish without live scope unless I'm casting. If you don't need it if you're casting from the boat
but
in the shore.
We fish a couple.
If you're doing rocks,
over the last month we fished a couple times together, and you've been on the back of the boat, or we both been on the back of the boat, or whatever. And I'm going to kind of pick on you. You just can't, at some point you just gave up because you didn't have that in front of you.
Yeah, well, but that's what I was going to say. So for those that don't have the technology, keep fishing the way you are. If you get the technology, you will be incensed. You will want it. You will not want. And here's the thing: you could start with a Vexilar. You could end up going to 2D sonar. You're going to go to down imaging, side imaging. You're going to go to 360. You're going to go to Mega Live, and you're going to end up going to live sonar. And that's literally. I skipped the Vexilar thing because I like, nah.
I still love Vexilar ice fishing.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I love 2D sonar. I'm just a huge 2D sonar fan. But the thing is, once you use it, once it becomes part of your thing, it's part of you. But me using sonar, side imaging, down imaging, whatever, and I've said it for years. I started using it in 2013. I bought 2 Humminbirds. They were 798 core units. And I fell in love with them. And I fell in love with the technology and what I learned from them. And so for me, fishing isn't always all about going out and catching my limit, my rule. And you can go back and you can ask any one of my close buddies in Volga, in Brookings. And I would believe, if they remember, my rule was I'm out to catch one big fish. That's one over 20 inches to whatever, 30 inches. That's my thing.
But you always want to learn too. You're always
I'm spending more time learning.
Consume yourself in the technology and learning. But I was picking on you in the fact of, we were in that little tournament. And you just dropped the weirdest crap I've ever seen over the side of the boat. Well, and I'm like, just fan cast.
I did a ton of casting because you were standing in the front of the boat. You had your head down, and I was out there chucking finishers and popping and fan casting, and that's what I was doing. And I didn't get anywhere, so I'm like, okay. Well, let's see what happens.
Let's put out a 47-inch gold spoon with a creek chub head on it.
So I don't know. I can show you pictures. My buddy Kirk,
fishing memories from Winnipeg. I'm like, Hawaii.
The great warrior there. He's putting on this big Doctor whatever it is spoon, this 5-inch thing with minnows on each hook, and I'm like, that's not going to catch a damn thing. Well, he caught one, it got off, and that one was bigger than the one that we ended up bringing through the hole as a 26. So he probably had like a 28, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But these two big fish taught me a huge lesson about big walleye going vertical. And that's because of that stupid gold spoon. And then there's more to it as well. But anyway, that walleye comes up, grabs it, you see the big tail come around, and it's the most amazing thing in the world to see that stuff. But when we sat down, he was jigging all this big spoon stuff, and it didn't have it tipped with minnows or anything. He's just making all this noise. Well, I'm catching all the fish because I've got a 1 ounce Castmaster.
100%, Steve. 100%. I love flasher ice fishing.
I can't disagree with the flasher thing because I'm going to say 2D sonar, same thing, but not. Here again, if you started with a flasher, then it's hard for you to move to 2D sonar.
So I have both for ice fishing. I have flasher, I have 2D, I have live scope. I have all three.
Humminbird went to the flasher. You can put the flasher on,
but it's delayed. It's nothing like a Vexilar.
It is a whole different animal.
It's a whole different animal, and there's something you going about to learning. And I will say this with Vexilar compared to even 2D, because I've sat there when we first got, I first got my 2D. I went to 2D. My wife still ran the flasher, and I could watch her flasher and watch fish come up a lot faster than they come up on my 2D.
Well,
so when you're jigging them up, I could watch that fish come up way faster.
Okay, so
on 2D or on the flasher than I could on my 2D.
Your flasher's real-time sonar. I mean, that is instant, right?
And that's what I'm getting at.
2D sonar is history. So anything on 2D sonar, you got something coming off the bottom and you got this really nice big streak coming across here. Well, that's that fish going across it. It's complete history. There's nothing real-time there at all. Now, if you turn on the RTS bar on the side,
and that's what I have on mine, right? I watch that.
Yeah, so you watch. Okay,
so a flasher in
it's a vertical flasher.
So
but
I mean, we can go down that road of flasher 2D live sonar. Right. I mean, it's what you like, guys. Get whatever you want to get. If you want to get in the game of live scope, had a couple I was talking to the other day. I'm like, get THU. If you're going to spend the money on a live scope, spend the money on THU. Get Downwind University, learn what you need to learn. You're going to be so thankful you did it.
You'll never learn it any cheaper.
But I will also say this. You can watch that and not own one and learn something before you buy one.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still going to have to be out watching that live.
You cannot.
You still are going to learn. You're going to be light years ahead of not watching it. So if you watch it, you're gonna be light years ahead, but then you're gonna still need to learn every little nuance.
Yeah.
Every little nuance with everything about it. Like we were talking last week, turning the transducer to look at a different angle of the fish, on the tree, or look at different tree limbs, different ways. Like it's such a great tool.
Oh,
right.
It's phenomenal.
Which is crazy to me because when it first came out, I'm like, I don't know. Because you want to know the one piece of technology I absolutely despise, and I own one.
I don't know what it'd be.
I despise it for one reason and one reason only, because it makes me mad more times than not. An underwater camera.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, because you're watching a non-reaction. You're watching all day long. So here again, that's just like forward-facing sonar. Live sonar is exactly the same as a camera. Beyond the fact that you're getting a perfect 3D, I guess you could call it you're getting a picture of the walleye. You're getting.
But I've watched more fish on my AquaView not bite something.
Yeah, but what did you learn from it though? There's lessons.
100%.
I learned a ton.
100%
not biting.
But I'm like, what? Like I watch all like panfish. Watch all these panfish come in, and you sit there and you move it this way and you move it that way, and you do this, and they just sit there and stare at it.
Yeah, but here again, and it comes down to Riley Full, and Braden and Brock Notham mentioned it last time when we talked too about the, it's the cadence thing.
100%.
But
I'd rather watch a boar disappear.
Oh,
then
then
that fish
and an actual fish. Yeah.
I mean,
It's okay. So yeah, I get that because I had two big hookups on Saturday and Sunday. So 2 weeks ago, I caught big catfish, and I thought I had my 30-inch walleye. Well, I'm pretty sure I had a catfish on Saturday, but I'm pretty positive just from the feel of it that it was a big walleye, and so I had it close to the boat, and I reached down to get the net. Because I'm like, I don't want to see this thing and then screw it up going for the net. So I reached down, and when I did, I brought the rod high, and it came off. And so if I'd had a camera, had I seen it, and I saw that it was a big walleye, I'd still be in my boat crying right now. I'd have skipped work. I'd lost my job.
It instantly became a catfish, huh?
Because I just.
Well, that's a big catfish.
It would have been.
It's either every fish you lose is a big walleye, or it's a big catfish.
No. From now on, it's that's what it is. That was a big catfish. That the one good thing about catching these big heavy catfish, these 7, 8, 10, 12 pound catfish, I know that I'm tying a good uni knot because I'm not snapping anything. I mean, it just and I was a Palomar guy. I tied everything that way. I wasn't a fan of fluorocarbon leaders or mono leaders. I just thought they were stupid because I didn't really know how to tie a double uni. I wasn't comfortable with it. I figured it out. I'm good with it. Whatever. You got to do what the pros tell you to do. And when those guys tell you got to have that fluorocarbon leader, you got to have the fluorocarbon leader.
Yeah.
The heavier line, if you're doing the forward facing sonar in deeper water, heavier lures. And thank goodness, a little air conditioning.
It was getting warm.
Well, that's because you and I are sitting in here. But isn't it crazy how cool it was today?
Oh, crazy! Smoke filled air.
Yeah, just.
And I walked outside this morning. Every time the smoke comes in, it smells like electrical fire to me.
Yeah, me too. So that to me,
so I walked around the tournament trailer to make sure something wasn't on fire. Checked everything before I left the house.
It's got that plastic burning smell to it. And I smelled it all day today. And it was the goofiest thing. I took some pictures, and of course the camera doesn't do you any justice whatsoever. It's just too bad. But okay, so forward facing sonar, boom, let's cut. We'll move on to something else. What else?
You say National Walleye Trail Championship starts tomorrow.
Yeah, so the National Walleye Tour's got which I'm still, and I was going to pop it up just because I was going to be an ass, but they had a graphic that said 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and then they changed it to 4th, 5th, and 6th. Yeah, but they always have dates wrong. It's a thing, but nonetheless, I didn't talk about it much on my radio show today, and I don't even know if I want to talk about it tomorrow or Friday. And I'm not going to on Saturday or Sunday because I'm just going to wait till Monday and dissect the final results. But we've got one guy that you sit in the barber shop, you sit at the coffee shop, and you hear people talk, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he's got this thing hands down." And the reality of it, the math of it is that Dwayne doesn't. It's not locked in. You got a couple of.
Be grateful.
Be grateful you did not get the smoke in Nebraska because it is really bad out here. Matter of fact, I'm sure that's why I got a froggy throat.
You went down a different trail on getting there.
Oh, sorry.
No, just fine. You took the long road. I was going to get straight to the point.
I always take the long road.
Saying Dewey's 24 points ahead in the Angler of the Year.
Right.
Basically, Kevin McCoy has to win it.
Yes.
And Dewey has to finish 24th or below.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry. I got to look it up because I hear with it's the other. I don't want to say the other guy. I don't know him, and I feel bad. I just don't even want to say the other guy because So Kevin McCoy sitting in second place, 24 points back. Now they take points every day, correct? Yeah,
so 3-day tournament. So. It's not like it's a 1-day. Dewey finishes 23rd or higher, he wins Angler of the Year. Yeah. These points are going to change throughout the thing.
It was throughout the 3 days.
Throughout 3 days.
Right.
Like I was doing the math last year with Tom Wynn when he was going, coming in, and then they're like, we have a tie. Because you had 180, Tom Wynn and
Dylan
Nussbaum, all boom right there.
Right.
And I'm like sitting there doing the math, and I'm like, okay, finish here. And I don't know exactly how they put out their points.
I don't either. I couldn't figure it out.
But I'm like, I can't figure this all the way out. But what I'm looking at is Tom Wynn either tied or won this thing. I thought he had him by 1 point. Well, it comes to be that he was
tied, but had more fish.
Tied. They announced Nussbaum was tied with Hunter.
Right.
Hunter caught one more fish. But it was actually Hunter was tied with
Dylan.
No, Hunter was tied with Tom. They announced Hunter and Dylan.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Dylan. Yeah. Right.
So and then Hunter caught one more fish throughout the season. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Hunter, Tom, Dylan.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Right. So okay. So right now Dwayne's in first, Kevin McCoy's in second, and then it's Austin Tomasek.
Yeah.
Tomasek. Okay. So he's in third. Jake Haw, he's in fourth. Eric
but I think
McCoy
Tomasek is 10 points behind McCoy going into the
champion. Yeah. So he's got everything has to line up perfectly, and Dwayne has to bomb.
Yep.
Right.
Which kind of did this, and Dewey's one of our boys, right? He fished all stuff. We talked to Dewey. Dewey's, I got to root for him, But the last two championships, he hasn't made the cut to go to the final day.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Now they're on Green Bay. He's won a Green Bay tournament.
He knows how to fish the lake.
So
it's September.
Would we like to see it 2-3 points different at this point? Right. It'd be for viewership, be great. I don't want to put bad luck on Dewey saying he's going to win. He's got AOI locked up. I mean, he's got a good head start.
Yeah.
He's got a 5-pound lead on second place going into the final day of the tournament.
Right. Yeah.
That's kind of what he's got.
And honestly, this championship this year with Mark Kortz being in 6th place, Tom's in 7th, Tom Wynn, Dylan Nussbaum's in 8th, Isaac Lockich in 9th. Isaac's on a freaking roll. I mean, the guy could win the tournament. He's not going to get Angler of the Year. But you got Corey Springle in 10th place. Corey Springle, he just hasn't. This year he's just quietly been competing.
Yeah,
which is kind of fun to see. Max Wilson in 11th, Jacob L in 12th. Benjamin Teets from West Fargo, in 13th. I mean, this is 180s in 14th. Will Poppenfuss in 15th. And the list goes on.
That championship is full of hammers. That's probably one of the best ones I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it's
full
of
hammers. There's
and upper Midwest guys. Yeah, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota guys. It's exciting.
Steve, hey, that brings up a good point, which there's more live coverage in the Walleye Trail. Not to try to toot our hat, but we're trying to do it better than anybody else with the fishing crew stuff. Trying to innovate, trying to figure out new ways to do it.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. It sounds like flip a phone up and go, but it's not. I mean, the amount of investment we put into it over the last couple of years, and I mean, we had a call a production meeting the other night.
The first one in 3 years.
Well, yeah, because you're finally here.
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, if you're not having production meetings, if you're not getting, because here's the thing, we don't get together and talk about how we're going to do a tournament. We get to the tournament and decide what the hell we're going to do that day.
We chat on the phone.
Well, we talk a lot on the phone, but that's not hands-on.
It's not sitting down in a room with the notepad, with TV, with looking at different equipment on TV. How many YouTube videos we watch there night?
Oh, good Lord.
Like, will this work for us? Will this help us? Will this do this stuff? So we're trying, and hopefully next year we're even a step ahead of where we were.
That's kind of the plan. With the fall brawl coming up, I think we're gonna do some experimenting. We'll see where it goes. Doing some other things with some Zoom cameras and stuff that we did. At
Make
the
sure
Cup.
You get into the fall brawl. So free steak dinner, great event. So make sure you guys hop into that. I had to put that plug in there.
Yeah, well, that's why I've got that graphic.
Still time to get into that.
Roll with it.
We want to be able to do things better. Do we have some plans? Do we have plans this year that don't come to fruition because one thing or another?
I think we have plans for plans, but
100%. Hey, thank you,
Steve. Appreciate that.
We're just trying to get it out there.
On a shoestring budget,
100%. I mean, 100%. I mean, I found a camera on Facebook Marketplace we bought on the way back to the class last year.
Right.
So we're just trying.
It was a good buy.
It was a good purchase. We're learning stuff. The big aha moment for him and Andrew this year at the Gov Cup was being able to plug wire the big camera into the sound system so we didn't have to mess with all these separate mics and
just have the sound
and
right there.
And I'll be honest with you, we spent thousands of dollars on stuff that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
true.
So we're not IT media professionals by any means. I'm a tournament director. He's a radio guy.
Well, and we really aren't. We don't do that many tournaments. Whether they're 5 altogether.
But even with this, right? Like, you're a radio guy. I'm a tournament director. I've done a few TV things, but you look at Bassmasters. They have a sound engineer.
Oh, they've got an entire.
They have staff for all these things. I mean, if you ever want to go look, like the last 2 years been at the Classic. Like, I'm looking at everything, but I'm like looking at, like, the last couple of years been really focused on. Look at that gear. What is it? Take a picture of it. And then how do they make it work? Like, you can go spend thousands of dollars on equipment, but then making it work is a whole nother ball of wax.
Just like fishing live scope. If you don't practice, if you don't use it, it's just another digital piece of shit that ends up in a corner because it sucks. It doesn't work.
And there's some stuff that I've got some ideas that we've talked about. I got some new ideas that we haven't talked about with some of the things we can do for pre-coverage, some things we can do for post-coverage, event coverage, just a couple different ideas. I like the pre-tournament interviews. Them are awesome. I think we kind of all get a perspective of what the guys are thinking, what that's going on. And I'm going to give hats off to, gosh dang it, Robert Cardenas.
He's persistent.
He was the first guy from the NWT here in Pierre. Well before anybody run the tournament was here. At the dock every morning, doing videos with guys, going home, editing, sitting in his hotel room, editing tons of photos, covering. He's one man.
And here's the deal: if the National Walleye Tour did not have Robert Cardenas, they wouldn't have anything.
Bingo.
And I'm being generous.
Bingo.
And I'm not being a dick. I'm not bad mouthing. I'm just saying. That's the way it is. And okay, so look at this. National Walleye Tour has $100,000 in cameras on the water every tournament. Hard to keep up with it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but Jim, that's your. Let's do this for Jim here real quick. He's watching and hanging on. So got the and I wish I could zoom in.
Hold on, let's get this going. Yeah.
So go check this out on Facebook. The easiest thing to do is to go to the website there, MinnesotaTournamentTrail.com, or you can go to Minnesota Tournament Trail on Facebook, and you can see everything. You can blow up on it, and go be a part of that. And go have yourself a ton of fun and get in on it. And if you have questions, get a hold of Jim on Facebook. I'm sure he'll give you all the answers you need.
Tell me the bass trip is in March.
Yeah. Oh, and so okay. Here's the other thing with coverage on walleye tournaments. You and Zach and I, we're all talking about doing other tournament series. So there you go, Jim. I was prepared.
But I want to go back to the NWT thing with Jim's comment. $100,000 with a camera on the water in every tournament. What are they doing with it? Producing a TV show that I haven't watched in 5 years?
Yeah. And
so put $100,000 worth of cameras on the water for what? For your TV show that airs in 8 months when nobody cares about what happened?
Right.
Yes. I go back and watch the ones from Pierre? I do. I watch them ones, watch ones when I know guys like, that, but I don't even know if I've watched the coverage of the championship from Tom Whining.
Yeah, no,
put $100, put $200, put $1 million worth of cameras out there. If you're not bringing the content live, number one, and when people's face, because people care about that event when that event's going on.
Right. Well, the cool thing, and maybe what we need to do is create some. It's not like we need another association, local tournament or small walleye tournament association, because you've got guys that are putting on the big money. You got guys putting on the Lewis and Clark, the Big Ten. You've got tournaments in Nebraska. You got tournaments in Montana. You got tournaments in Minnesota. You got tournaments in Iowa. And so if we all kind of came together and gave people good stuff, we'd have more of it, right? Because we're only doing 5 tournaments a year. But if you've got 5 or 6 or 7 up in North Dakota, you've got 3 or 4 in Nebraska, wherever, now all of a sudden, instead of just having a handful, now those people who love walleye fishing and want to follow it and want to watch it, now they're getting more walleye and they're getting more live coverage because of what guys are doing in Montana and North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota.
I agree with that statement. But the other thing is, and I'm going to give credit to you here, we wouldn't have what we have today if I didn't drag you into this mess.
Thank you. Which is interesting because I mean, I honestly wanted nothing to do with it because I'm a radio guy.
I remember calling you the first time saying, let's do this podcast. No, I sit behind a mic with no camera.
Right.
I got wrinkles and a mold and I got this. And I don't know what I'm going to look like. I mean, I'm going to tell everybody here, before we went on for the first episode, it was an hour of, does that light make this wrinkle look bigger? Just kidding. It wasn't that bad. I said, you're old, I'm fat. Who cares? Nobody cares.
Yeah, well, and that's the other cool thing. But the most fun is the fact that we have more walleye fans, and I think that's why I started using the hashtag for the fans. Because really, when it comes down to it, what we're doing is for the fans.
Yeah.
We got the tournament here, but if you put a camera up and you take a microphone out and put that up, now you've got a show. So now you have to make a show, right? And Kyle, so the thing is, I'm not going to apologize because we're trying to figure it out and we're learning, and it's taken a few years to do. But I learned stuff this year that I didn't think I would learn. I thought I was going to learn more, but I learned more of the wrong stuff than the right stuff. And so the right stuff that I learned, I'm excited to think about when we do the Stockman's, the fall brawl, and then next year.
So one thing, I really pride myself in fixing problems in the moment, right? Like if something goes wrong, I don't get frustrated. I just get to work and get it done.
I used to freak out.
And you've come a long ways in that aspect. Yeah. And you're very where's my list? What do I got to do? What, and I've literally broke you of that in some aspects, right? You're like, well, whatever,
that's hard.
And the thing is, and Jim can say this. I mean, we started putting a cell phone up, right? Just throw a cell phone up and record it. It's something, right? And then, a live leaderboard glitches and people are like, oh my God, the live leaderboard's not working right.
The people bitch.
Your feed cut out. And I said, remember 8 years ago when there was no live leaderboard and you had to drive down, look at the board or wait for the results to come out? We live in a Walmart world. We want it now. We want it right now, or we're going to find something else or we're going to complain about it. We all do it. I watch National White Trail and I pick on their, I don't say anything publicly. I don't get on there. I'm not a keyboard warrior, but we're listen to the audio. God, that sucks.
Right. It's horrible. Yeah.
And if you can't evolve in this stuff, and Jim can probably back me up on this, you've got to have the right people in place to make things happen. Yeah, can I go put a cell phone up? Can I go put all of our equipment up now when you're not there? Correct. Bass Cup was a perfect example. You weren't there. I put everything up. I go to do something in between, and the end of the weigh-ins and the results, and my feed was gone.
Yeah, right.
Because I can't sit there and watch it standing on stage, where when you're watching it, Chamberlain, we lost feed. Yeah. You're instantly on it to figure it out. Right, well, if I was weighing the fish in, I can't tell if that feed's gone.
No, right? No, there's a lot that goes into it, and Jim's still hanging on, and give kudos to Jim because he started last year, right, Jim? Last year was your first year, this year's second year, and look at how the Minnesota Tournament Trail evolved, and look at the entertainment that they're giving the followers there. I think they do a good job. They do a fantastic job of giving people what they're looking for, and I'm sure Jim will say the same thing. Yeah, but we could do it better. We could do more. We could have less problems. We could have less glitches. But that's easier said than done because none of this is easy. I'm sure Jim would agree too that just sitting down and doing one of these Facebook Lives is just not that simple. And here's the thing: you and I plop down on Wednesday and we just do it without fail. Period.
Yeah.
Here we had guest opportunities. Nobody came, and so boom. You sit down and you just do the deal. Yeah, right. Yeah, it does. It takes a lot of
if you
hands.
think about this, the Bassmasters doesn't do the production. They hire a third-party company to do the production.
It's somebody that knows what they're doing, and the guys like you and I are sitting in the chair, and they got the little deal here, and the producer says, okay, we're on in 15 seconds, whatever it is, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they've got their stuff right in front of them that somebody's typed up for them. You know, I'm not saying it's easy.
No,
you know, Mercer's unbelievable. I wasn't a Mercer fan until I really, really started to pay attention to what he did and how he said it. You know, like, and probably because of you, you know, like, wow, okay, so Mercer's
first
a lot
time
more
I
than
watched
thought.
Mercer, like, I think my first real following bass was when the Elite Series was in Pierre. Living up here at Spring Creek, I drove down to the boat launch every morning because I'm a freak. I love every aspect of a tournament. I love takeoff.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you do. You were born for that.
Everything but fishing it. I love it.
Yeah.
So I go out and I'm watching takeoff, and I'm like, I'm gonna be the only guy there. And there was hundreds of people.
Right. People love that stuff.
And I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
From doing all these tournaments in all these years, there's nobody there. Well, the first day I'm standing on this one dock and I'm watching, don't even know who Mercer is, don't even know his name.
Sure.
And I'm listening to him announce him off, and here comes 3-time Bassmaster, you know, classic qualifier, 2-time Bassmaster Elite Series, blah, 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 blah. And rattle us off. I'm like, wow, this guy's good. Well, the next day I go down there and I happen to stand on the dock right behind him. And I'm like, he has no notes.
Mind like a seal trap. Yeah,
all crazy. Off the top of his head. And I made a comment to my wife, you know, started going to the classic, and I said, he knows all that. And she goes, you can't tell me stats on your regular anglers? Right. And I'm like, not like that.
Yeah, but yes, he studies it though too.
But he's got 100 anglers to learn.
Right. Yeah.
And he's got the same 100 every time.
Right. Where you've got 100.
You know, we had 1,238 walk across the stage this year.
Yeah. Which is, you know everybody. It's impossible, you know, because I give you heck because you say a name wrong or you don't know somebody's name. But
dyslexic,
it's hard to know everybody. Oh, yeah, I know. Look at that. It's we're into 52 minutes into this. Yeah. It's break time. This
brought to you by
Pure Bliss. Wait a minute. Hold the phone. That is the cheesecake I'm eating this weekend when I get up to my place.
The Andy's Mint one?
That is the Andy's Mint one. Yeah. So this portion of the program brought to you by Pure Bliss Bakery and Cafe. And here's the deal. Laura I just did that on my own because I go in there. Matter of fact, I was so busy today, I did not get in. I'll go in tomorrow and I'll get my piece of cheesecake or two. The thing is, you buy 2 cheesecakes and it's as heavy as one of the ones that you get from the store, right? And they're so creative, and the cheesecake is it's amazing. So and I throw shameless free plugs out there without saying Pure Bliss because I don't want somebody at the radio station to say, hey, you can't keep giving them a free plug. So I'll always say Laura, and I'll always talk about, going downtown to get my cheesecake. But yeah, so anyway, if you're ever in Pure, go to Pure Bliss, but not Pure Bliss, but Pure Bliss. And you got to have cheesecake. And then the food, like you said, the smash burgers.
Oh, yeah.
We had nachos one day. Right. And just amazing food. So I wanted to change the subject real quick just because I did. I thought, okay, we're good there. We've got 6.5 minutes left.
But I mean, you get back in the term stuff, we can get off the media side of things. This year overall has been a great year for the fishing crew. I think Minnesota Tournament Trail had a great year.
Yeah.
National Walleye Trail's numbers were down. We didn't see a downturn. Cedar Shore kind of churned, which I knew was going to because I went to a full 2-day. But I think everything stayed pretty steady. And I think people want grassroots. There's definitely a national level. People want to go there. It's always going to be there. It's a great deal. But I didn't see any dip in. I mean, we filled the Gov Cup in 6 days.
Right. Yeah. Right.
200 teams, 6 days.
National Walleye Tour struggled. They were off of their 125.
Yeah, but I think
tournament.
You think about this. You started and the co-anglers they struggled on too, which that's never been a thing in the past. But you went Pierre, South Dakota to Dunkirk, New York.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They put their
big swing.
They casted their net way too wide.
And by the way, we're not bitching about the National Walleye Tour. I mean, we're just talking. We're just talking, right? It's nothing.
You know, and there's
not pointing fingers.
And I get it. Like, you know, people complain about their schedule. People complain about this. And people complain about that. I will tell you,
it's not that easy.
Yes, would I love to be at every body of water on the perfect date? And Jim can attest to this. You want to be at that body of water on that perfect date. You don't want to mess with full moon schedules. You don't want to mess with this. You don't want to mess with that. And then you call the city and say, hey, we want to be at your location June 15th, da 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 da. And they're like, no, we have a baseball tournament.
There's always something. It's not easy. You know, I get it. And when you look at the National Walleye Tour, or you look at the Masters Walleye Circuit, you look at AIM, you know,
there's a lot of good programs out there. There's levels for everybody. Yeah. You know, guys will call me, hey, I've never fished a tournament. I want to fish one before. All right. My favorite term of the year, I think the most energy, the most different atmosphere. And if you've never fished a Gov Cup or been to a Gov Cup, you've coming in for the last 3 years being part of this, wouldn't you say the energy at the Gov Cup is just something different that you don't feel anywhere else?
Yeah, not even at the Bassmaster Classic, but here again, that's a different level. But on a local level, and you compare the two, you know, it's pretty. There's something about it. I don't know how to, because I'm always there. And here's the thing. Here's part of the deal. I miss more than half the tournament, right? Because I'm sitting in this trailer, so I'm not seeing what I'm seeing. I've got all the activity of the anglers out the back of the trailer and whatever. But yeah, I mean, if you want to fish a tournament and be a part of something pretty damn special, and it doesn't matter who you Leno's fly. If you want to be a part of something special with some really good anglers, if you can get in on the Gov Cup, but
super competitive. It's super competitive. It's super everything, right? It's got all the things wrapped into one. And I'm not going to tell you come out for the first time, never fish tournament, not win it, not place, because there's always that possibility. There's some absolute hammers that I would put up anywhere in the country. And Bo Schilling is going next year, and Chad is going back on the circuit. There's going to be some heads rolling when those two boys show up, because they are very, very good. Chad won a freaking FLW. He's won an AIM championship. He's done it, right?
Yep.
And his kid is grown up, playing with walleyes in a live well from the time he could crawl, probably, right? I mean, the kid is just, he's 3/4 fish at this point.
And he oozes with confidence. That's the winning detail.
Yeah. I mean, and so grow to those levels, go there, but the Gov Cup in itself, like, you're going to compete against those guys. John Hoyer signed up like 3 years ago for the first time. And I was pretty excited. Okay, cool. Hoyer's coming. Because there was a lot of years I'd go and talk to different National Walleye Tour pros. Hey, why don't you come fish Gov Cup? Because I'm not going to get beat by a guy in a pontoon. And they knew it, right? Now Hoyer's coming, and he's done okay. He's never been in the top 5.
Nope.
He's been top 10, whatever. He's always kind of right there in the mix. But to me, he goes, do you think that's going to hurt your numbers, or is it going to help your numbers because Hoyer's there? And I said, Hoyer's just another angler. Dewey's just another angler. They're all beatable.
Yeah,
everybody's beatable. Bo's beatable. I mean, every one of them is beatable on the right given day. Would I hedge my bet on a couple of those guys? Yep.
Yeah, right. Well, the other interesting thing about the walleye world too is the fact that every winner is never a winner the next year. You don't. Tom Wynn hasn't won Angler of the Year 6 years in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, whoever, I don't care. Look at Hunter Nitty. Hunter Nitty's on top, and I mean, my God, I'd love to just sit and watch that guy fish. But then he loses. He takes 30th in a tournament, and then all of a sudden he takes first, and he takes first. Isaac Lockage comes out, and it's truly amazing. Steve, thank you very much.
We kind of breezed over amazing. This.
Oh yeah, okay.
Kyle's going to be a co-angler next year. Just want to get 100%. And I'll tell everybody, I've told everybody that's ever asked me if they should go fish the co-angler side National Trail. Yes, but absolutely go do it, but understand what you're going there for. If you're going there to think you're going to win a tournament, you're going to have terrible experience. If you go there with the open mind to learn, and however you finish, it's the cheapest guide trip, cheapest classroom or boat room where you have boat room setting you'll ever be in. Right?
Yep.
Get in that boat and be a sponge. When Drew Schutz came to me, before he was going to go do it, he goes, "You think I should do it?" And I said, "If you go to be a sponge, you're going to get something out of it. If you get lucky and draw the right guys."
Yeah. Well,
listen to, we can go back and listen to the show with Chris Haynes when he won the Mississippi. Yeah. He went to learn willow cats.
Yep.
He's never fished wing dams. He went there with the expectation of learning, and just so happened to pull out a win because he got the right draws.
And it is luck of the draw, because you can get some locals who really are they're good sticks, but it all depends on who you get. And so you get into it and you learn what you can from whoever. If they're fishing a tournament, they must have some knowledge, because I'm not fishing a tournament because I caught a couple of big fish the last few weekends, right? Because whatever, right? So they've got to have tournament knowledge. So go learn something from them, because it's super important. And then keep going. Look what Drew was a pro this year for the first time, and he missed the cut by 6. I think he finished 46,
I think something in mid 40s.
Right? Yep. Sieverding, I think he was 13 now, so he'd have been 53. And so I mean, these guys had good years. Is 46 a great year? No. Did he miss the cut and miss the championship? Yeah, but then again, he's a co-angler, and now all of a sudden he's a pro, and he finished in half the pack, in the upper, the top half. Pretty impressive.
Two things I've always said. One, and Jim can probably ex-nay or like this or dislike this comment, but I think every tournament angler should have to work one tournament before they fish one.
Oh, I agree with you there.
They should have to work one to understand what goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I agree. I was told farmers at the elevator, you guys need to go to 8 to 5 school. Holy crap.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, right.
Work one.
Same concept. Yeah, work
just work.
Understand
I mean, come volunteer for one, be a fly on the wall, help out where you can, understand the back end of it, because this comment right here, would change a lot,
right?
If they came and worked the backside of it. Back in the day, I used to get told, "Oh, this is easy. You guys just send us and go back to bed." I'm like, "Yeah, they snap my fingers and all the banners and signs and everything's up." Yeah, no, not gonna lie to you. We have taken some naps.
Hey, sometimes you got to be able to sleep when you can, because you're going to bed late and you're getting up early.
We are the first one's up and the last one's to bed. I can almost promise you every night.
No doubt.
And
no doubt. Oh, Daryl's on the show tonight.
Why north, the south? It's a championship
video.
Hey, we kind of got it with the South Dakota series, just not leaving, get north of Pier. We'd love to do that. Hope to see you at the fall brawl. By the way, Daryl.
Yeah,
you
right.
And the girls got second last year. So, and a little plug. I don't know if Bo's coming because he got a moose hunt, and I kind of told him I'd try to be on a moose hunt. But Bo, if you're watching, we'd like to see you.
Love to see you. I think I got a note from the full. So Riley, Braden, and Brock Notham, I believe they're
nice.
They're going to commit.
We shamelessly plug them into it. Yes, and Jim, you're 100%.
Answer the phone. yeah, right. Yeah, and that's the truth.
Hey, Jim, I will tell you, this is no lie. Years ago, we did one back when we didn't have Bill Post live leaderboard, back when all these things were happening. And I don't remember where we were at, like Pollock or something. Internet service sucked. Like, you had to stand on top of the hill and lick your finger, even get a text message out. And we get done, we get everything loaded up, and I get out of town about 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. I get home and 4 a.m. my phone rings from a guy. Where's the results?
See, we're learning because we're going to get them out.
Dude, I got home at midnight.
Right.
I had no cell phone service. I've been up since 5 a.m., by the way, and I just got home midnight. It's 4 a.m. Click. So, yeah. Sweet. I must have missed your sign up. I don't have the full list. I just see them come in one at a time. But yeah, I mean, 100%. We can run the Missouri River system. I love the lake factor. I would love to see the National Walleye Trail go a true river, a reservoir, a lake.
Oh yeah, that
integrate, get all the aspects of not just being on the Missouri River system. And then, this year I thought the schedule was pretty cool because you were on Lake Sharp, then you're on the Mississippi, and then you go out Dunkirk, and you go back to the Great Lakes thing. And I get it. There's way more anglers to pull from out there. I understand why, in theory, you go that way, because we have 500,000 people in South Dakota and they have 500,000 people in 2 cities.
Right.
It's easier to pull. Numbers are easier to pull, but make it so they have to go to all these different style reservoirs.
Yeah, it would be fun. It'd be another test. It'd be another test. To see
Not,
who the best is.
Like Curt said, I don't know if he said in our podcast, but I watched another one. He goes, technically, we're fishing 2 bodies of water all year.
Yeah, right. Yes, you said it on ours.
It was 2 bodies, because you got the Missouri River system. He goes, Bismarck and Lake Oahe fish same. Yes and no. For the most part, though, yes, they do. Then you go to Green Bay twice.
Right.
And so, you're fishing 2-3 bodies of water all season.
It'd be fun to see more. And honestly, Daryl, we talk about different tournament series. Honestly, we're always talking about creating something different. And yes, it would be fun to have this great big Lake Oahe league or tournament series or whatever it is, from north to south, and have Angler of the Year and all that. It's not easy to put together. It takes a ton of non-working people. You would have to quit your job. I'd have to quit mine. Zach would have to quit his. Nate would have to quit his, and because it's a ton of work, it's hard to do. So we're talking about it all the time, and we're just trying.
We got some stuff we've got on the back burner. We thought we were going to come with it
this year.
Last year we thought,
last year actually,
and then we thought maybe next year, and it's still kind of in the mix. It comes down to dollar amount and time.
Yep. Dollars and sponsors,
and you talk to, we had a lot of meetings last fall about this new tournament circuit,
and with some of the biggest in the industry.
Yeah,
so
and it was
I mean, no joke.
And we had all levels of guys on there, but we had some serious big names on there, and they all loved it. And then we're breaking stuff down, and they're like, "Well, that's 80. You need to pay 100% payback and this and that." And I'm like, "Well, we are this that." Something. And then they're like, "Well, that's 82.6.5% payback," and I'm like, yeah, and we're paying for this, and we're doing this, and we're doing that, but the tournament entry fee is 100% payback. And by the way, I got to roll my rig down the road, and I've got to pay 5 other people to follow me down the road for 5 weeks a year. Like, you come to me with $100,000 a year sponsorship.
That changes a lot.
That changes a lot.
I mean, that changes things big time.
And Jim can probably contest this. Sponsors make these things happen. It's great to have them. And they're hard to get, and you take what you can get, and you divvy out back as much anglers as you can get. But it still, I mean, you go to run what we do. My Shields credit card was $57,000 the last 2 years, 100% on tournament expenses.
It's not cheap. It's easy to do a tournament, And honestly, it's easy for us to come up with ideas and want to do them, but then you start putting pencil to paper and go, whoa, hold the phone, so it's tough. But here's the thing. We're going to keep trying to bring as much walleye stuff as we can with the tournaments that the fishing crew does. And hopefully some more will come along. And certainly the fall brawl is no, that's true. I mean, we're donating our time. And it's not a moneymaker by any stretch. You're right, Jim. But here's the deal. Are we really doing it to make money? Curt is, because it's his business. Am I in it to make money? Oh, sure. I'd like to make some money. But then again, I'm really finding out that I enjoy it. Some days I think I want to not do it. I want to quit because I'm like, okay, can I really, whatever. And then it just, a little epiphany moment this year. I went, whoop, hold the phone. Let's do this thing because of the fans. Not because of me, not because of you, but it's the people who love watching walleye tournaments and want to follow.
Well, I mean, it's like the reason we started this podcast. We started this podcast, and literally I called you on a whim.
Yeah, right. To do a 3 to 5 minute
3 to 5 minute podcast.
Hour and 10 minutes again. We've been going over an hour now for weeks, but
you know, I said let's do this podcast 3 to 5 minutes and be in and out, blah blah blah, have a guest.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah. And 100, and we're like, we can't. Like, then we started talking, we can't do that. They were like 15 minutes, 15-minute episodes.
Can't do it, half hour.
And then we're like half hour, and then we're like, you know what? We're gonna stretch it to whatever it goes.
Yep.
You know, because I was like, every time I sit down or I'm flipping through my phone, if I catch a video for 3 minutes, I can watch the whole thing. If I don't, you know, now we're carrying viewers, 50, 60 viewers for maybe not the same viewers, but we're carrying them for hour or better every week.
It used to be 3 to 5 to 7 to 10.
And now it's like, you know, we get excited if it clicks over 100, but then we go back and look and we get about 2,500 views for a week on a show.
And we're not doing this to be viral.
No.
We're not doing it for 50,000 views or whatever it is.
We would love everybody to like and share and tag their friends to like our pages. We started this and we always said we don't want to get famous. And we always kind of said that, and we've always kind of joked that we're, you know, we kind of are in an offset. This is about highlighting other people, highlighting what's going on in the tournament world, highlight what's going on, who shot a big buck, like when we had Wasey Kirkpatrick on, or Austin Early shooting a state record elk. You know, just trying to stay relevant. And that's why, like, we don't put out a week ahead who we're going to have on our show, because there's been times we've booked the guest at 5 o'clock to get on at 7.
Or we booked one 2 weeks in advance and it's just been wrong timing.
Yeah. And we want to stay relevant. And the couple conversations we have coming up, we get to a hard point this time of year with tournament season wrapping up, school starting. Do you really want me to bring on some guy to talk about dove hunting? No, you know, no, it's not.
Unless we're going to eat some while we're talking. But,
you know, we're trying to do different things, and it's continue to grow. And we put a ton of money into equipment to get this right, you know, and to continue to get it right. And we're continuing to look. And you made the comment that I'm in it for the money. You know, I'm in it to make money. I am. But I would say 95% of the money we make goes back into equipment. We're sitting in a brand new trailer. We've got new, you know, I'm always buying the newest stuff to try to stay ahead of that curve, because I don't want an old laptop that's doing an update and blue screening and whatever. You know, I spent $4,000 on laptops this last year. You know, like, we have to do it. Could we use a couple more? Yeah, we could. We're learning that.
Yeah, that's I guess we're learning all the time, and that this Between Hook Sets was meant to fill a void between your tournaments and seasons. So, and that's what it was created for. It was never created to be, you know, a popular prime time. You know, everybody watches it,
and we appreciate all the people who tune in every week. And
you know, I will take the 15, the 50, the 75 people that contribute.
And frankly, we could have started its own. You know, that's a big thing. We could have started its own page, its own YouTube channel. And I said, no, you do yours, we'll do mine. We can bring it all in together and
just be us.
Mm-hmm. And you start. And I said, the one benefit we can gain is we can gain followers. And you started with, you know,
387.
And you're how many followers? Over 3,000. You know, I started with 3,000. I'm almost 8,000. Like,
just growing slow.
It's growing slow. It's doing what it's supposed to. If you guys like, share, comment, share, tag your friends to like our pages. That's all we're trying to do, is put it out for people that watch every week.
We want people to comment. We want people to participate and be a part of a part of the show. And like tonight, you know, just throwing things together and sitting down and having a conversation and having people like Daryl and PB and Jim and Steve and all those guys, you know, Uncle Lou, all comment and be a part of the show. I mean, that's what makes Between Hook Sets the show, is everybody, not just you and I. It's
100%
amazing, that and the guests that we have, that we're lucky enough to have. So,
and we've had some amazing guests.
Yeah,
and the funny part, I was going to bring this up, is, you know, from running the show, what you guys don't see is we can see the timer, we can see how many people are watching, we can see the comments, we can share them, we can not share them, we can see the likes, we can see all these things, and we get guests on. And there's been many guests at like the 15-minute mark, and I'm like, oh, like there was one week, like we get this guest on, like, we're not going to make 15 minutes,
not even for a second.
We're not even going to make 15 minutes.
It ends up being over an hour.
And it's like tonight, like we started talking, and I looked down, it's 15 minutes already. And then
it was 50,
and I'm like, then I look down again, it's 50, and now we're at hour 14. We're going to wrap up here, but like it's amazing on some of the episodes that we pulled together last minute. We're like, this is just a fill-in show, whatever. And we've had them blow up to be some of our best episodes.
It's been fun. So you got Dan from Garmin. You got Jaden Wendell is going to be on the show. Dan Spangler from Berkeley is going to be on the show. And TJ Erickson, Jared Petrie. I mean, we've got this handful of guests lined up that are coming up over the next 2 months. It should be a ton of fun. I can't wait to get TJ Erickson on and talk about his he quit guiding and he's doing the influencing thing. He's doing the video thing, and he's fantastic. He's the guy that's fishing with Nick Linder and Brett McComas all the time too. So Drew, congrats on a good season there, Drew. I appreciated getting to know you over the year and certainly rooting for you. I think you had a great year. Your first year out, you did very good. So anyway, we've got guests that are coming up, and we've had guys on the show that we just like. People are like, well, who have you had on for guests? Oh, blah blah blah. Trey McKinney. What? Who? How the hell did you get him on? Well, we got him on before he was super famous, but he won his first tournament and he went on with us. It was a ton of fun. So anyway,
and it's it's funny because there's very few people that have ever said no to us,
right?
Even in the very beginning,
yeah.
And then like today when I called a couple people trying to get some guests on when stuff kind of fell through, and they're like, I can't today, but I will. I want to,
right,
So it's kind of changed to where we're not even selling them to become guests. We've had literally people reach out to us.
Yeah, got a call today that I think if we can get some guests on from the Big Ten, the Lewis and Clark, that would be kind of fun to do too. So,
but people are reaching out to us saying, hey, if you ever got time and I'd like to, put my stuff out there. And if you guys, we've never done this. And I hate to do it because you guys got anybody you want us to talk to, comment on it.
Let us
shoot us the comment and say, hey,
asking that
we'd
too,
really like to hear about what this guy's got going on. Yep. And we got to get Drew Schutz back on soon so we can post his picture from his wedding.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I poked a lot of fun of him on the radio, but I don't know that anybody heard because I never got in trouble for it. But anyway, good times coming, and thank you for watching. We appreciate everybody taking time to watch, certainly to comment and to react, give us thumbs up, give us a like or a love or whatever it is. Thank you so much, and just fish. Have fun fishing.
Yeah.
And if you use live sonar and somebody doesn't like it,
look, one more thing before we do that. Like you moved out to Pier, and what was the first thing we did?
Went fishing
in the tail race, right?
Yeah.
No live sonar.
Yeah, no.
Just casting offshore, and we had so much fun doing
it. And honestly, when you have that, here another epiphany moment, when you get the thing with the finisher, that pop and let it go, and you feel it, you feel it in the eddy, and it's coming back at you, and wham! There's all these. Oh my God, it's amazing. So yeah, I guess the thing is go out and fish and feel it, feel the fish in your hand. There ain't no Barry had a little major league. All right, Mark. Hey, thank you very much. All right, my friends, it's been great. Thank you much. Have a fantastic weekend and get out there and catch some walleye and send us some pictures.
Oh, yeah, that is.